What if I told you 33 billion tons of matter just vanished from NASA's radar right in front of the world and nobody knows where it went? Stay with me, because what happened next will blow your mind. What if I told you something the size of 33 billion tons just vanished from NASA's radar right in front of our eyes and nobody knows where it went? Stick around, because what happened next will blow your mind. Right now, at this very moment, we are standing face to face with something that no one at NASA truly saw coming. The interstellar traveler known as 3I Atlas, the third confirmed visitor from beyond our solar system, has done something that shakes the very foundations of everything we thought we understood. If you're captivated by the mystery of 3I Atlas and want to see more mind-bending cosmic stories, smash that like button and let the universe know you're watching. Every click helps keep the search for the unknown alive. It didn't slowly drift away into the darkness, fading quietly like countless other objects before it. No, it vanished clean, sudden, and absolute right after reaching perihelion, the critical moment when it came closest to our sun. One instant, it was a precisely tracked 33 billion ton traveler racing through space. The next, it was gone. No trace, no signal, no reflection, nothing. Our most powerful instruments were waiting for this moment, telescopes aligned, data streams ready. This was supposed to be the point of maximum visibility when solar radiation would make 3I Atlas blaze across the night sky like a beacon. Instead, what astronomers saw was the opposite, empty space. And here's the truly unsettling part. This wasn't some random disappearance lost in the noise of cosmic background. It happened exactly at the moment everyone predicted the object would reveal its strangest behavior. A moment circled on calendars and calculated to the second. For months, scientists across the world studied its speed, its trajectory, its strange hollow structure. They watched as it behaved like nothing natural should. And then, at the peak of observation, just as its mysteries were supposed to unfold, it slipped away as if it had chosen that moment. 3I Atlas didn't simply pass us by. It outmaneuvered our gaze. It disappeared on its own terms, leaving the best instruments humanity has ever built staring at nothing but the silent void. And that silence is louder than any signal we could have hoped for. October 29th, 2025. That was the day scientists had been waiting for. The day 3I Atlas would reach its closest approach to the sun, sliding just inside the orbit of Mars. This wasn't just another checkpoint on a chart. This was the test, the one moment when every telescope on Earth and beyond was locked in, waiting to witness something extraordinary. When any ordinary comet gets that close to the sun, the rules are simple. The heat and gravity tear it apart, sending debris and glowing tails sweeping across space like cosmic fireworks. We've seen it happen countless times. But 3I Atlas didn't follow those rules. As it swung behind the sun, entering that brief, predictable blackout window, scientists prepared for the object to reemerge on the other side. Brighter, wilder, maybe fragmented, but definitely there, except it wasn't. The James Webb Space Telescope scanned the exact coordinates where it was supposed to appear. Ground radar systems stretched their signals deep into the void. European Space Agency tracking arrays locked onto empty space. 33 billion tons of matter moving at incredible speed had simply vanished. At first, scientists considered the obvious. Maybe it had shattered completely, reduced to a cloud of dust too faint to detect. But comets that die leave fingerprints, expanding debris clouds, dust trails, fragment paths. This time, nothing. Not even the faintest shimmer. This wasn't a glitch. This wasn't a miscalculation. This was something else entirely. An event that unfolded not in chaos, but in precision. 3I Atlas disappeared exactly when it was hidden by the overwhelming glare of the sun, exactly when the world couldn't watch. That is why this moment haunts astronomers. It didn't just vanish into space, it used the sun as a shield, disappearing in the one window when we were blind. When a natural object breaks apart, it leaves a trail, a cosmic breadcrumb path that tells the story of its destruction. Space doesn't erase things that easily. But with 3I Atlas, there was nothing. No dust signature, no cloud, no fragment glimmering faintly in the dark. The Hubble Space Telescope can detect objects smaller than a city block at enormous distances. If 3I Atlas had shattered, even the tiniest pieces should have shown up in those scans. Instead, the data came back blank. A clean, sharp absence where 33 billion tons of matter should have been moving at precise, predictable speeds. Then came the second possibility. Maybe there had been a miscalculation. Maybe the object had emerged from behind the sun, just not where anyone expected it. But here's the problem. This trajectory was calculated with surgical precision. For months, multiple observatories measured its speed, position, and acceleration to the tiniest fractions. They accounted for the pull of every major body in the solar system. They factored in the pressure of solar radiation. They even corrected for relativistic effects. The error margin was smaller than a grain of sand in an ocean. To lose it entirely would require a change so massive that no natural process could possibly explain it. This was not a case of the math being wrong. The math was flawless, which leaves us with something far more unsettling. The object itself changed the story. It didn't drift away. It didn't shatter. It didn't fade. It moved, or it made itself unseen in a way nature simply doesn't do on its own. And that single fact has scientists whispering what they rarely say out loud. 3I Atlas isn't just another comet. It might be something different. There's a moment in every close solar encounter when the geometry of space and light creates a kind of cosmic blackout, a gap, a place where, from Earth, even our most powerful instruments can't see what's happening. 3I Atlas passed through that gap like it had been waiting for it. As it moved behind the sun, it entered the deepest part of the solar gravity well, the place where a small push can rewrite an entire orbit. This isn't science fiction. It's a real and well-known principle called the Oberth effect. When something applies thrust at its fastest point, right at the bottom of gravity, that small burst of energy turns into a massive trajectory change. If 3I Atlas had any form of propulsion, even something modest, that single moment near the sun would have been the most efficient time to use it. A gentle nudge there could have redirected it toward the outer planets into a stable orbit around the sun, or sent it somewhere we haven't even thought to look yet. And here's the haunting detail. The disappearance didn't happen randomly. It happened at the one time when anything extraordinary could unfold without being seen. No telescope could pierce through the blinding solar glare. No radar could trace its movement across that wall of heat and plasma. Then, when the observation window opened again, it was simply gone. Not slower, not dimmer, gone. Almost as if the object waited for that blind spot. For scientists who live in data and probabilities, this isn't just strange, it's chilling. Because if 3I Atlas did maneuver deliberately in that moment, then what vanished behind the sun might not have been just a rock. Then came October 3rd, a precision flyby of Mars, passing within 29 million kilometers. That's not just unusual, that's statistically astonishing. A cosmic coincidence with less than one chance in 50,000. Individually, any of these details could be written off as strange but natural. But when you put them together, the pattern begins to whisper something far more unnerving. It looks less like a wandering object and more like a traveler on a planned route. 3I Atlas didn't just arrive. It executed a sequence, and then at the exact moment when all eyes were on the sky, it disappeared into silence like a performer stepping off stage after the final act. And then one voice cut through the noise. Not a politician, not an agency, not a press release. It was Brian Greene, the physicist who spent his life pulling back the curtain on the deepest laws of reality. In a quiet, almost unsettled tone, he said something that sent a ripple through the scientific world. He didn't say 3I Atlas was artificial. He didn't say it was alien. What he said was far more powerful. He said, what unsettles me most isn't what we saw, it's what we didn't. Because in physics, absence is never empty. A missing signal is still a signal. A silent sky is still speaking. Greene explained that when something disappears this cleanly, this precisely, at the exact moment our instruments are blind, it forces us to confront a possibility we rarely allow ourselves to consider. That maybe our models don't just have gaps, maybe reality itself does. Every major leap in human understanding began the same way, with something that didn't fit, something that refused to behave, something that broke the rules we were so sure were unbreakable. Newton had gravity. Einstein bent space and time. Quantum physics shattered certainty itself. And now, 3I Atlas, a traveler that arrived from the dark between the stars, followed a path no random object should, and vanished at the one moment we couldn't watch. Greene called it a cosmic mirror, not because it reflects something out there, but because it reflects something in us, our limits, our assumptions, our need to believe we already understand how the universe works. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a message sent to Earth. Maybe it was a reminder that we are still standing at the shoreline of a much deeper ocean of reality, staring into the dark, hearing something move beneath the surface and realizing we don't yet have the tools to see what's swimming there. So don't stop here, because the universe doesn't end with answers. It begins with better questions. Click the next video and keep going deeper into the mysteries hiding beyond the edge of what we think we know.